Hello, everyone, and welcome to Placement Pulse, your one stop destination to learn from the real journey of B School students across India. Welcome to another series of B School journey of CAT aspirant to cracking to IIM Kashipur. We started Placement Pulse because we have lived the exact struggle you are facing today, starting from group discussion, personal interview, CV curation, apart from that, personal guidance for each and everything. Keeping up with our mission, today we have someone truly inspiring, Vaishali Pant. She cracked CAT 23 and made it to IIM Kashipur. Vaishali, first of all, thank you so much for joining us today. It was pleasure to host you at the Placement Pulse. Before we deep dive into your journey, can you please introduce yourself to our audience?
Okay. So, hi everyone. My name is Vaishali Pant and I belong from Uttarakhand. I've completed my undergraduation in computer science, mathematics, and statistics from Christ University NCR campus. I am a very extroverted person. I like connecting with new people. And immediately after my graduation, I thought it would be a good decision for me to pursue an MBA. So I gave my CAT during the last year of my undergraduation and I was able to crack and join IIM Kashipur. And currently, I'm doing MBA in business analytics here at IIM Kashipur.
Great to know about you. Uh, Vaishali, I wanted to know like how you prepared for CAT examination. Like in terms, there are total three sections. If we talk about quants, VARC, apart from that, also you need to struggle with the reasoning part. So how you prepared for that? Have you taken coaching or you have prepared by your own?
Okay, so I actually prepared by my own since I was doing it in the last year of my graduation. I had a lot of things on my plate at that time. So I focused on my strengths more than on my weaknesses because in CAT, I what I think is it's not important to know everything, but it is important to know half of the questions so you can score and get a good percentile. That was my strategy. So for VARC, I went through the sample question papers that are available on different websites and also free mock papers that are available. Along with that, I did purchase a free this mock paper series from iQuanta and other like Career Launcher. I just purchased the mock papers, not the coaching material. And for quants, it was actually because of my mathematics background that I was able to solve it easier. But focusing on basic questions of ratio, proportion, sets is something that anybody can do, whether you have a mathematical and non-mathematical background. So that will help. And for LRDI, what my focus was, I knew that two to three type of questions are definitely going to come. For example, seating arrangement questions, or a person is sitting here who will be sitting on the right or left. Questions are fixed, just the names and numbers change. So at least one set of the LRDI is always predictable based on past trends. So seeing the past question papers will help you to predict what can come this year. So that is something I followed. And from different YouTube videos, I tried to understand those four type of questions for LRDI. That will help you solve the section easier.
Great. So, majorly, like how much percentile have you scored in the CAT examination? Apart from that, you're talking that you already have a mathematics background. So, it helped you a lot in the quant section. So, is that the similar reason that you are doing currently MBA majorly in business analytics itself?
Yeah. So I scored in CAT 2023, I scored 92.73 percentile. And over there for LRDI specifically, I had around 98 percentile because of my maths background. There was a question that actually came on statistics in which I had done my undergraduation. And the reason I have actually taken analytics is because it aligns with my background before. And also, there is a thing at IIM Kashipur that they run two flagship programs for management. One is MBA Core, which is general management, and the second is MBA in analytics. So, one thing that everybody or every CAT aspirant knows is that it's not necessary that even if you study, you get a good percentile. It depends on a lot of other factors as well. So, the same happened to me. I could have scored even better, but IIM Kashipur gave me a second chance. So, basically, in this program of MBA in analytics, it's not compulsory for you to have the percentile that CAP has. For example, during the time I was applying, the CAP requirement for general category was 94 percentile. So basis that I cannot apply for general management course at IIM Kashipur. But for a program that is MBA in analytics, a person with even 80 percentile can apply to the scores because they give weightage to other factors like your work experience, academic diversity, and gender diversity. And in that, only 20% weightage is given to your CAT score. So this is a second chance for all aspirants who want to get into an IIM and scored around 90 to 95 percentile. So that is how I went on to, because I had also applied to a lot of private universities and I got into them. But then we all want the IIM tag. So that's why I went for MBA in Analytics at IIM Kashipur.
Yeah, and I think many of the CAT aspirants are not aware regarding business analytics course and its cutoff. Like everyone thinks that the cutoff
Yes,
for like general
yes,
MBA is more than 95% itself. So it was a great insight. Apart from that, I would like
yeah.
to know about like how you prepared for personal interview and a group discussion when it comes to the interviews, because clearing CAT examination and scoring high percentile is one thing. The second stage is interview. Even though if you scored very high percentile in CAT, still you need to go with the cap round and appear for the
Yeah.
interviews. So how you prepared for that?
Yeah, I would completely agree with you on that because I think more than the cat today, the interview is really important. For example, people would think that a person, if they score 99 percentile, would definitely get into IIM ABC LK, but that is not the case. Most of the people in my college as well are more than 98 percentilers. So that is just the basic requirement to have that score. Apart from that, a lot of colleges, not just IIM, will have a written assessment round as well. For example, they can give you a topic and you will have to write on that. Then it can be a GD and then it can be followed by a PI. So that is a three-step process, simplified into two-step process for different colleges. What I have taken as an insight is always use your LinkedIn connections. Try to connect with people or students who are studying in that college at that time, because mostly what happens is that professors from the same college, at least one of them will be the panelist, so you can get an insight of what type of answers they like, what do they want out of it. And secondly, if I talk about my interview at IIM Kashipur for this course, what I did was, the admissions committee here actually sends out mail to all the people who have applied for the program, and they assign a mentor also. So I was assigned a mentor to whom I can contact if I need anything. So I directly contacted the person and also reached out to people on LinkedIn to understand the entire process. And then first of all, reading about some important questions like why MBA, the common HR questions that can be asked to us. And domain expertise is really important. So if you have work experience, you should be able to justify the work you have done. And if you are a fresher, you should be through and thorough with all the concepts of all your years that you have gone through, because they can literally look at your degree, look at a subject, and ask you to explain that. This especially happens in offline interviews. So, knowing about your undergraduation, your work experience, general knowledge, sometimes even guesstimates are asked. For example, they can give you a small numerical to solve or some charts to make. They can even ask you some questions that can be very diplomatic in nature. For example, taking a side in political parties, in a political scenario. They can ask you about, for example, the Israel-Palestine war, things like that. So all of this are holistic knowledge. Along with that, business knowledge is really important. For example, I was asked questions on, apart from Shark Tank, tell me five women entrepreneurs in India, things like that. So they can ask you such questions. All of this is really important. Basically, having knowledge of everything around you is the key to cracking an MBA interview.
For it, I think assigning mentor is a kind of right thing every college should do to help the students, specifically for
Yeah.
GDPA preparation. Apart from that,
Yes.
I think you have done multiple internships, starting from your college time itself, when you are doing your bachelor's. At that point of time, you have done multiple internships. So, do you think that these kind of internships are helpful in the personal interview? Because whenever you're going to explain about yourself, introduce yourself, you're going to tell us that how much experience you are having as an intern in different domain.
Yes. Yeah. So that is really important because whenever, if I'm applying as a fresher and the interviewer is looking at my profile, there will be 10 other people like me. So how do I make myself stand out? That is through internships. If not internships, we should find a way to highlight the projects we have done in our college. So, for example, most of us do a project in the last year of our college as an academic requirement. So that is something that somebody can explain if they do not have it get into MBA. But once you have joined, after that as well, to build your resume, to get a good internship, to get a good
Right.
placement, it is really important to have done at least one or two internships in your undergraduation, and not just getting a certificate. Actually knowing the work you have done and explaining what you have done will help you get a better score in your PI.
Right. Apart from internship, I hope you are able to recall that what kind of questions were asked in the interview. Like just a basic gist that what were the basic questions and how long the interview duration was. Because generally what happens is that duration doesn't matter of any interview. How much engaging the interview is, that matters at the end. But still, what kind of questions were asked to you during IIM Kashipur interviews?
Okay. So I think my interview was for around 15 minutes, roughly, from what I recall. And first questions I was asked was definitely introducing myself, then why I want to go from a science background to management background. Then they directly went into my domain questions. For example, I was asked what is regression, what is linear and logistic regression. These are the questions that I recall. And then I was asked what is the difference between data and information, what is the difference between analytics and analysis. Then they went into computer science as well, since that I had that on my profile. They asked me questions of what is binary search tree, what are different type of data structures. In mathematics, they went into vectors. So if anybody has these, come up in every interview, because these are the basics of the subject, and no matter what the background of the panelist is, they can ask you these questions. Regression is really important, no matter you have a statistics background or not. Then obviously I was asked about my take on the Israel Palestine conflict. Along with that, I was also asked what I would do in a certain managerial situation. For example, example of leadership or example of teamwork that I had demonstrated in my undergraduation. So that was something related to a POR I had put up. Along with this, the last question revolved around my strengths and weaknesses and why, what is unique in me. That was the last question of the interview.
Got it. So right now you are in the second year of your MBA. So how was your journey at IIM Kashipur, specifically for the first year? Because everyone tell us that first year is very hectic in IIM. You need to go with the multiple things, not only the classroom classes, but along with that, you also need to go with the CV curation. Then you have assigned a mentor from your senior team, and they will guide you for CV curation, for personal interviews, for GD. So how was your experience, and specifically for internship? Because you got placed at Evan Wave. So how was your internship experience there as well?
Right. So I would agree. First is really hectic, and the thing is that it's not difficult. It's just that a lot of things come to you at the same time. For example, term one, you have to deal with subjects you are not aware of: finance, marketing, economics, and everything. Along with that, you have to make your CV in term one. You also have to give interviews for club committees and cells. So all of that happens at once. But gradually you do adapt to it and it gets a little better. But I would say doing an MBA, no matter it is in IIM or some other university, definitely is a full packed experience in itself. And it's a very transformative journey. So you would feel that you have already aged or you have already had the experience of 5 years in a span of 3 months. So that is the beauty of it, MBA program. In just one term, I'm not sure how it operates in every college, but assuming what happens at IIM's, term one is 3 months. So in just 3 months, you feel you have learned so much, which you could not maybe in the past 3 years. That is something that I had. And some I also faced some problems. For example, I faced problems with time management, how I should go about handling all things at once. Should I go into club committee cells or not? But obviously with the guidance of my mentors and support from my friends, and also trying my best at everything, slowly you figure it out. Not everything will be the best at once, but definitely keep trying is what I believe in, and that will definitely help. And talking about my internship, so luckily I was able to get the opportunity for an internship with AB InBev. It was a really amazing experience. I was working with the commercial team and I got to know a lot about the FMCG and the CPG sector, how the products actually move. I was able to also do a lot of market visits. I was able to meet with the higher management of the company. I was able to directly interact with the director, associate directors, even the president of the company for the matter. So that was a really amazing experience. Definitely something that I would keep with me for my lifetime. Uh, Also because the product that they sell is really amazing. That is there. But one key takeaway from the entire experience of getting an internship would be that people should be very patient with the process after getting into an MBA as well, because not just based on your aptitude, it's based on how much emotionally intelligent you are as well. So the entire placement process at any MBA college is going to test your patience as well, along with your domain knowledge and expertise. So that was one of my key learnings from ABIN.
Great to know about your first year journey. Apart from that, like we have heard lot of time from our seniors that apart from doing internship and studying about your course curriculum, you also need to keeply engage in the case competition because it does not just build your strategy point of view, but also entire planning thing that you're going to implement in the companies. So, have you participated in case competitions, and how was your experience if you participated in that?
Yes, I would say I gave more weightage to case competitions after coming in my second year, but I did try out my hands in the first year as well. For example, in the VGuard case competition, I was getting to the national semi-finals. Even for PepsiCo, we were able to get there. But one thing that I definitely learned is no matter you win a case competition or not, you should definitely try to do the case. It gives you a lot of learnings. Plus, the presentation skills I was able to get after making those PPTs is something that helped me in my internship as well. So, case solving, problem solving, talking to people. If you do crack it, you will get a chance to go to a national level stage, even get some cash prizes. You can also get PPI opportunities. So, case competitions are definitely something people should focus on to improve their presentation skills. But if people are not able to manage, I would definitely say doing live projects during your MBA will maybe cope up or try to balance the fact that you are not able to crack case competitions. But definitely getting a good team. Not One advice is not just make it with your friends. Try to talk to as many people as you can in your college and get a good group, and then try to solve case competitions. That is one of my learnings.
I think that was really generous advice that you don't make a team with your friends because what will happen is that
Yeah.
then you are the sole person who's going to work in the team. So
Yes.
that is one thing. Apart from that, I just one last thing is that for our learners, can you please like tell them that what are the do's and don'ts for the personal interview and how they can prepare for the final placement if somebody is already in the second year. So what kind of things they should keep in their CV and confidence, which is really important for the final placement.
Okay. One do will be definitely to read about today's newspaper and the day before newspaper. That is something you should do. The panelist can ask you. Secondly, be aware of what you have written in your cat form. Whatever degree you have mentioned, whatever work experience you've mentioned, you should know that if you don't know about other things. And also know about the basic terms of business. For example, 4 P's of marketing, 4 C's, basic frameworks. So these are the definitely to do's. One don't, which I also feel is a red flag, be it any interview, is being very one sided towards anything, having a very strong opinion that can be politically incorrect because you never know what the panelist supports. So try to be a little diplomatic in your answers whenever you're giving an interview. And secondly, your body language is really important, especially since most of the interviews today also happen online. Ensure you have good lighting, good internet connection, and the way you're speaking is really important. Be very polite and respectful whenever answering. Do not get agitated, and sometimes we get scared, so we speak louder. So that is also something that should not happen in an interview. And then you asked me about what was the last question?
Apart from that, I was asking for the
Do's and
final
don'ts apart
placement.
from do's
If
and final
somebody is
placements.
preparing for it, then what kind of things they should keep in mind in terms of CV curation and appearing in the interview?
Hmm. Okay. For CV curation, I definitely feel that since most of the companies have gone into resume shortlisting through AI, checking your ATS score is really important. So once you make your resume, you can use websites. Personally, I've used websites like Resume Worded to check my resume score. So always try to make your resume according to that. There should be no grammatical mistakes in your resume. There should be power verbs that are used to increase the ATS score. And for interviews, again, I believe that first of all, getting an internship in any domain is fine. But when we talk about final placements, try to stick to what you actually want to get out of it, out of your MBA. Do you want to go into this company? Do you fit into this role? So maybe before a company evaluates you, you should evaluate the company. That
Right.
is this the right fit for me? That is a two-way process, not just a one-way process. Because we are doing an MBA, we have invested our 2 years, so we definitely deserve something that is good for us as well. There is a trade-off, so try to maintain the trade-off. One thing I believe is there are three things that we have. First is a brand name in a company. Second is the money that they're giving. And thirdly, the position that they're giving. So you can give different weightages to these three factors while applying to any company. Maybe brand is more important to you, maybe the money is more important to you, or maybe the role is more important to you. So one of these things has to be the most important for you. And whenever you go for an interview, just read the job description very, very carefully, because that is something that is mostly what the interview will revolve around. And nonetheless, if you don't know anything, being confident is what is taught in MBA. So be confident and accept your mistakes, accept your flaws as well. And obviously confess that you will work on them in case you do not know any answer. But a confidence and a good smile will definitely help you crack the interview.
Great. So fantastic advice, Vaishali, and thank you so much for sharing your journey, like from cracking TET to making to IIM. Apart from that, like I'm sure that our viewers will take away a lot of practical insights from your experience. And if our viewers find this insightful, please like, share, and subscribe Placement Pulse. We are coming up with different journeys of these school. Apart from that, also from campus to corporate. Someone who already have work experience in the corporate sector, we are also coming up with that series as well. So thank you so much, Vaishali Pant, for joining us, and it was pleasure to host you. Thank you for that.
Thank you.